Well, welcome to Coach Focused, and we're doing this a little different. Today we're on Skype, which is pretty old school, but Blab was not working. So thank you to my guest, Salome Schillack, and she was kind enough to switch over to Skype and record the video over here, and then we'll post it up on YouTube. So I just wanted to welcome Salome, and you could probably pronounce your name better than me and get it perfect. Also tell us about what you do and yeah, just kind of about your coaching practice.
Cool. Thank you, Brighton. Thank you. It's so nice for me to be here today. And you know, it's true. It's we jumped back on Skype because it's old, but it's reliable, right? It's reliable. And don't we love reliable when it comes to technology? So thank you for having me today. It's wonderful to be here with you. Yes, my name is Salome Schillack. And I'll tell you a little bit about the name, because then once you know about it, then you never forget it. It comes from the Hebrew word shalom, which means peace and power. So it's actually really significant for me. It has significant meaning for me. My coaching practice is called Shine and Succeed, or the website is shineandsucceed.com. That's the home of my video blog. And I've recently started teaching other coaches how to create more freedom and flexibility in their businesses by making the shift from offline to online marketing. And the reason I did that is because I was a struggling offline coach, hustling my ass off to, you know, build something up and to get started and to get going. And it got too much for me. I've got two young kids. I've got a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old. And it got too much for me, and that's why I switched over to online marketing. And I've just recently, in February actually, on Valentine's Day, I made the switch over to start teaching other coaches how to use the beauty of Facebook and the beauty of online marketing to create more flexibility in their days as well.
Awesome. I obviously am a big fan of the online world. And so maybe you could tell us a little bit about, you know, your coaching practice before, and maybe a little bit about what drew you to online, other than the fact that there, I guess maybe the fact that there's so many people online, and also where you're at, because maybe that has something to do with it too.
So I started a sales coaching business here in Perth in Western Australia. I am originally from South Africa. That's why I've got a funny accent. I'm sort of South African Australian mixed bag. But I started my sales coaching practice here in Perth. And of course, the first thing I did was I started attending networking events. And the reason I quit my 9-to-5 job was so that I can spend more time, be more available for my kids. But then when I started the business, I found myself networking at breakfasts in the morning, networking coffee dates during the day, networking at lunches, and then networking in the evening. And it wore me out. It was just like I was having these 60-hour weeks, just trying to establish myself and get a practice going. And it got too much. And after about a year of it, I had a bit of a meltdown, and I just went, this is enough. I hate it. I don't want to do it. I'd rather work for a boss than, you know, never be at home. But then I started looking around, and I saw people like, well, obviously the first person I looked at, I was like, Marie Forleo. She's built a business online. But then I started looking around at other people's online business models, and I started seeing that I can have a business model online that serves me, that I don't have to necessarily work with people one-on-one if I don't want to. I can have a one-to-many model, and I can use tools like Facebook Live, which is one of the things that I'm so excited about that we'll be talking about, to reach more people than I could ever reach networking one-on-one. And that's when I started learning all the online stuff. The first thing I enrolled in was Amy Porterfield's program about webinars that convert. I'm absolutely mad about Amy Porterfield. She has changed my life. And I've learned most of what I know from Amy, and I've implemented that into my business. And it got to a point where I then decided, just the other coaches were just coming to me and saying, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? How are you doing this? How are you doing this? And I just started telling them. And now the business is actually transitioning into me teaching other coaches how to use online marketing, which is very exciting.
Definitely. Yeah. And I love you mentioned Marie Forleo. Her name comes up so much. And Amy Porterfield.
I'm sure.
But, yeah, I did B school 3 years ago. So I'm one of the few men in the world of B school. But yeah, I mean, she's a great example, and also was inspirational for me when I was starting. I was like, wow, okay, this is, you know, authority marketing essentially. And influencing so many people, whether or not they, you know, join her courses. She's still, the influence is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. And what I love about Marie is she still has some of her original videos on her website, so you can still go back and watch. And I knew that I wanted to use video because it's just so much easier. It just comes much more naturally for me to be on video than to be sitting down writing a typed out, a written blog. So I looked at Marie and I went, well, you know, she had to start somewhere. And I had to start somewhere, and I went, well, you know, Marie had to do her first video. Marie's videos at the start were not that great. And so that's just how I started, and I decided I'm just going to imperfectly implement and just do it and go for it. And I haven't looked back.
Yes, I love that idea of just getting yourself out there. So is your first video available? I've actually watched Maria's first video where she's sitting on her couch in like sweatpants with an iPad or something.
Yeah, my first video is on my website. Yes, it is. It was the night before my 35th birthday. I did a video. I launched the video to kind of announce the change of it was actually the announcement of Shine and Succeed, because my sales coaching business had a different name. It was the announcement of Shine and Succeed, but I didn't know what Shine and Succeed is going to look like yet. I just knew I'm done with sales coaching. I need a change. I'm doing something different. I'm going to inspire people to shine. But what that was going to look like, I had no idea. And I knew that it's going to be video blogging. So my first video blog is still up there. Like, oh, it hurts. It hurts to watch. But, you know, I keep it up there to remind me how far I've come.
Great. Yeah, maybe we'll take a little clip and kind of shove that in here so that people can see before and after maybe.
Eve of my 35th birthday. I am so very happy to no, not another Facebook group. Facebook groups getting you down.
Great. So I guess, so you use video. Video you said was natural to you. But I'm wondering, you know, compared to blogging, or podcasts or any of those things, you know, why do you think video is such a perfect match for you?
I think something not a lot of people know about me. I used to be in musical theater. So I've had this drive to perform all my life. And I think it's like that is one thing that I've done my 10,000 hours in, you know. I have been on stage. I have been, you know, there when the camera rolls, I'm on, my energy is there. I know how to bring it in that moment. Whereas sitting down and writing a blog, it's just, there's no creative passion for me. It doesn't light the spark, you know, it doesn't get me excited. It is, like, honestly, I said to someone the other day, I think I would rather give birth than write a blog post. But to sit down and write a script where I know I'm going to be, you know, I'm going to be emphasizing certain things and I'm going to be acting some things out and just being a bit silly and having a bit of fun. That gets me so excited. That's so much better than writing a blog.
Yes, I agree. So let's look at your ideal clients. Because, you know, if you're a natural on video and many people aren't, so, you know, who is your ideal client? Is it someone who's not a natural and needs to get there? Or is it someone who is a natural and just needs to figure out how to do it or what content to provide?
So my ideal client is someone who is probably in the first couple of years of their coaching business. They need a big boost and they need it quickly. So they need to get their name out quickly. And they probably aren't very established on social media yet, but they have used Facebook for posts, and they have used Facebook for groups, and they've used Facebook for a few other things. You obviously, I say, look, if you're never, ever, ever, ever going to consider doing video, you're not my ideal client. But if you're curious about it, if you're just a little bit curious about it, I say if someone is curious about it, then I know that little spark, we can find that spark. And I can help them overcome the fear of being on camera. If you teach them how to write a good script, you can teach them how to be prepared, especially when they're going on Facebook Live. I've got this superstar broadcast blueprint, I call it. It's a blueprint of exactly what you have to say, in what order, and when you say it. And if you've got that, and you've got your content, and you know your content, then anybody can show up on camera and be confident and bring it and deliver a good quality message that actually makes a difference to other people.
Very cool. So let's talk about Facebook Live. It's something, as we were struggling with Blab, I was like, we were actually Facebook messaging each other because we couldn't communicate via Blab. But I was like, can we use Facebook Live? And you mentioned that it doesn't do two-way communication.
No.
I've never seen two-way communication, but I believe it's coming, and I believe that's also one of the reasons that Blab has kind of started to fall behind, is because they see Facebook kind of eating their lunch, and so they're trying something different. So I think we'll see more of what we see on Blab will be on Facebook Live. But tell us, maybe why is Facebook Live the platform that you've chosen to kind of specialize in? Because I know you've also done a lot of YouTube. But you're showing up more on Facebook.
Yeah. So I want to just add to what you said at the start about Facebook Live and the ability to do two-way communication. It is available to us now, but my understanding is, and there's a fantastic video if you know who Chalene Johnson is. Chalene Johnson did an entire hour-long infomercial on Facebook Live, where she was cutting in and out. She had an intro. Her video wasn't square, like the video is square on Facebook Live. Her video was, normal video shape. What's that? A rectangle. And she could add in things, so it literally looked like a TV show. And that we can already do that with Facebook Live through external APIs and through fancy cameras like 360. So we can do that. It costs a little bit of money, a little bit more, and you need to be quite tech savvy to set it up. So I don't have access to that yet. I look forward to the day. But it is available. And if you're hooked up like Chalene Johnson, then you can do it. And she has a brilliant video on her Facebook page and on her website. That's an infomercial type video she did on Facebook Live. Fantastic, blew me away. I couldn't believe you can do that with Facebook Live.
Cool, and I'll link to that in this video. That's another thing about being able to add those things in.
Yeah, so I hope that it's still on her Facebook page, because it was promoting her Marketing Impact Academy that is closed now.
Oh, okay.
So I'm hoping she didn't take it off. But if you scroll back a couple of months, probably a month or maybe a month and a half, you should find it there. Then what was the second question? The second question was why Facebook and not YouTube? Yeah. So Facebook just kind of came naturally to me. I wasn't as educated about YouTube as I am now. The only reason I went on YouTube was because I needed some place to host my videos for my website. And so I started the YouTube channel. Now I've learned a little bit more about promoting my YouTube channel and getting more views and subscribers and things. But I mean, it's still it's like a desert pretty much for me, YouTube. I don't give it the love it deserves, which is why it's not there yet. But Facebook, I posted my first video on Facebook. I didn't even know if I could upload a video that was like 5 minutes long. But I said, well, what have I got to lose? I'm just going to post this and see what happens. And I posted it, and that horrible video that I said that was my first video, I think it got 300 views or something, which was incredible for me at the time, because before that I'd only done photo posts, which gets 30 maybe a good one would get 30 or 40 views. But for that video to go, you know, all of a sudden everyone's watching the video, I just went, there's something here. I have to use this. There is something here. And I wasn't even aware that Mark Zuckerberg was pushing Facebook towards video at that stage. I just knew that something's happening here and I want to be a part of that. And so I started uploading videos more regularly and measuring the results and seeing what resonated with people and what didn't resonate with people, and how I could get more reach and more views and more engagement. And once I started measuring it, once you start measuring it, it becomes like a quest game. You become a bit obsessed with it. And then I started turning my videos into ads, sponsored posts. And then the quest game takes on a whole nother life of its own. And I think that is what I love most about Facebook video, is that you can take that video and you can turn it into a sponsored ad or a sponsored post and be so specific with your targeting, who you put that video in front of. That is the power of Facebook video. It's not necessarily in the numbers of people who see it, because we know Facebook counts a view as 3 seconds. Anyone who's viewed a video for 3 seconds, and it auto plays in your newsfeed. So if you're a slow scroller, then Facebook is going to count it as a view. So views don't really count. But the fact that you can retarget those audiences. And this is the thing I love most. Facebook now, when you turn a video post into an ad, it'll give you a breakdown of your target audience. So it'll say, do you want to specifically target people who watch the first 10 seconds? Do you want to specifically target people who watch the first 30 seconds? Or do you want to specifically target people who watched the entire video? And so based on the interaction people have with your video, you can then, create a second video with an added message. And this becomes very powerful when we think about, running promotions or getting people to sign up to webinars, or, getting them to take some kind of an action where you can be so specific in what you put in front of them. So that's why I love Facebook video so much.
I see. Yeah, I do. I like that idea of essentially retargeting people based on how they interacted with the video. That is one of the best parts of Facebook, I think. Yeah. Even though, I don't know, it's kind of, as a consumer, I'm always like, I don't want all this advertising. But as an advertiser, I'm like, whoa, I can put my ad in front of the exact person that is my target market. And Facebook is so good at that.
Yeah, and I think as consumers on Facebook and marketers on Facebook, it's important for us to remember that Facebook's number one priority is for us to have good user experiences. So they want to put stuff in front of us that we want. And it's up to us to manage it. So if we get videos that we don't want to see, you can unfollow people. You can just click on the little arrow in the top right corner and say, I don't want to see this. And that's why you train Facebook. Facebook is there for your enjoyment. Facebook is there. Facebook wants you to stay on Facebook. So it's important for consumers to know that they are in control of their news feed. And if they don't like something, they can tell Facebook they don't like it, and they will take it away and they'll show you something else. And you can design what your newsfeed presents to you in that way. And we love that, because then as marketers, we know that when we're actually showing something to someone, it is what they want. And they are more likely to respond.
Yeah, I think just going through, I've been playing with Facebook ads too, and measuring and changing, and also like YouTube ads, Facebook ads, which one is converting and whatnot. But Facebook has something, I think they call it the relevance score, which kind of determines, like, if you target a group of people with a certain ad, did you get it right? Or did you, kind of make a really girly ad and target male construction workers? It'll tell you pretty much, hey, this is, everyone was clicking off of this. It's a totally irrelevant ad. So then you can also run multiple ads and see which one has more relevance. And it's a lot of
it's a lot of fun once you start. But it's like an onion, and you peel back one layer, and then there's another layer that you can peel back, and so it becomes a bit of an art and a science.
So wait, is it like a bloomin' onion?
What's a bloomin' onion?
Oh my God.
What's that?
Oh, yeah, I will have to. I'm going to add a picture of a blooming onion right now because it's what Americans think that Australians eat. Um,
Well,
there's,
that's when I play the South Africa card.
oh no, and no one in Australia, yeah, I think you're pretty typical. People don't know. It's just, it's almost a joke because there's a place called Outback Steakhouse, which is about
Yeah.
like Australian
Yeah.
steak.
Yeah.
And they serve
Yeah.
bloomin' onions, and they have nothing to do with
Illuminati.
Australia.
I've never heard of that. That's so funny. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so funny. Must be a States thing. Yeah.
It's very fried. That's the other thing. It is an American version of
yeah.
food, so it's incredibly fried. So,
Yeah.
maybe you can tell, like, someone's thinking about this whole Facebook video thing. What kind of equipment do you use? I mean, yeah, what's kind of that basics that they need to know or need to have?
The very, very basics. Like, this is what I love about making videos for Facebook is you don't need to invest. Well, you need to invest teeny tiny little money. The only thing, where is mine? I just had my microphone here. Oh, here it is. The only thing, this is the only thing I would suggest you invest in if you're just starting out, and that is a lapel mic. A little lapel mic. The little spongy thing just fell off. But we all know them, and you can go for, the Rode Smart Lav is the preferred choice. That will probably cost you about $80, around $80. Mm-hmm. The one that I bought when I just started out is called the Movo, mm-hmm. and I think it cost me less than $20.
Yep.
And I just bought it on eBay in Australia, but I think you'll get it on Amazon in the States. So you need $20 so that you have good audio. That's the most important thing. Use your smartphone. I still use my smartphone for every single video I make. I have an iPhone, but I've heard that Androids have even better cameras than iPhones. I don't intend to test it because I'm an Apple girl, but use your smartphone. If you don't have a tripod, I'll tell you a little story, a little bit. That first video of mine, that horrible one that you're going to put in the clip, I didn't have a tripod, so I built a contraption to keep my phone still, and it was my daughter, who was a baby at that stage. It was her change table, and I then stacked a bunch of books on top of that, and then I put my computer on top of that, and I balanced my phone on my computer because I didn't have a tripod. So I just, made a plan. So, you don't have to start out with a tripod. Although tripods are very inexpensive, but do have something that holds the camera steady. You want it because nobody likes shaky camera, mm-hmm. And make sure there's good audio. And then with regards to lighting, stand in front of a window, use the sunlight. Sunlight is always the best because it makes us look very pretty. But you can invest in other ring lights. You can get the more expensive Diva ring light, 18-inch Diva ring light, which is a little bit of an investment. I think it's around $300 for the light and the stand. Or you can go for a cheaper, like just a cheap selfie LED light if you just want to boost your light. But most of my videos, I'm still using sunlight because I feel it produces the best quality of light.
Yeah, I think I have a video where I tape my iPhone to a window and then step back and shoot the video.
Brilliant.
There. A little duct tape.
Brilliant. Perfect. There's if people say it's technology holds them back, it's nonsense. And as far as editing goes, you can, if you really have to edit your video, you can use the iMovie app on your phone, which is really simple to use, and it just basically tops and tails it and cuts out, if you want to cut out the ums and the ahs, or maybe you dropped something or you need a little bit of editing, then the iMovie app on your phone, on your iPhone, is perfect, and I'm pretty sure Android will have some kind of equivalent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great. So maybe you could tell us, kind of what's been a struggle for you in terms of this live video? So clearly you had the struggles before with live interaction and the time that took, but and maybe a little bit of how you got over that.
Oh, something that's been a struggle for me. I think when I just started doing video, I was on Periscope. And on Periscope, you have to be at that stage. Periscope didn't save the video, so you had to be on every 24 hours. And that was a good thing, but it was also a struggle for me to come up with content every 24 hours. But the reason I say it was a good thing is because it stretched me to really learn how to produce content quickly and easily and consistently. Now, I'm not on Periscope anymore, but with Facebook Live, I have now learned to create good quality content consistently without having to go live every single day. So now I have the Shine Show, which happens on a Monday, which I've just done episode 3. I've got episode 4 coming up this Monday. It's a Monday morning Perth time. I do that. So that's Sunday evening, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I go live on my business page for the Shine Show. And I'm taking that show to be interviews with other coaches. So it won't be the way you and I are interacting now. It's literally I have to find someone who can come to my house and sit next to me and be with me on camera. So I'm a bit limited geographically limited, but I'm figuring out ways around that. I'll get ways around that. So I guess the big struggle for me was learning to come up with content and then learning to be consistent. Yeah. Because consistency is key. And with my videos, with my video blogs, I still haven't reached the consistency I want. But with Facebook Live, at least there is consistency now, which is doing me really doing well for me.
Yeah, and I've started to really like live video. Like the Blab has been clearly something that I loved. Past tense. But, it's so easy to have a conversation with someone and then, boom, it's done. And the expectation is different versus like a YouTube video where it goes through an editing process. And then, I type out a blog post and I type out all the metadata and there's all this stuff versus just create content and it's live. So
that's what I loved about Periscope as well, is this live interaction and you're in the moment and you're having this connection with people and then it's done. And the beauty of it is in that moment and it's captured in that moment. And it's sad for me that I'm not using Periscope anymore, but it's a little bit of a technical issue at the moment. Yeah. I'm sure it will figure itself out. And I think Facebook is still catching up to that live experience. The value of Facebook Live still lies a lot more in the replay than in the actual live video. Especially, unless you are a major celebrity where people are going to jump on and let their friends know when you're live. One day when I get there, then people will scream to jump on the Facebook Live when I'm live. But at this stage, the value is still, and for most of us, the value is still in the replay. We still get 99% of the views on replay. So it's important still it kind of loses a little bit of the charm of that live video when you're trying to be polished so that you serve a replay audience.
Right.
But I also think I think the fact that we have so much live video now is going to make the edited video stand out so much more.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like it. Yes. It's kind of, yeah. Okay, cool. Well, I want to get wrapping up here, but I want to give you a chance to kind of tell people how they can find you and what you've got going on, any kind of big things coming up for you. So go for it.
All right, brilliant. Thank you very much. So I am just doing the final edits of a program called the Facebook Live Superstar. I will be launching that at the end of the month. So anyone who is interested in finding out more about that can head over to my Facebook, join my Facebook community. That's probably the best way to get in there. And they can join my community by going to shineandsucceed.com/community. shineandsucceed.com/community. That will send you through to the request join my Facebook group. In that Facebook group, we have regular weekly live hangouts, and we spend a lot of time talking about Facebook Live and other online marketing. And then keep a lookout at the end of the month. I will be announcing the launch of the program.
Wonderful. Well, I'm going to head over there now and get that all set up. But I wanted to thank you so much for, coming across here on Skype. We got the technical difficulties kind of worked out. It's still a little fuzzy, but it was wonderful having this conversation with you and great to get to know you. And I guess I will be back somehow next week. Maybe it's Skype, maybe it's Blab, maybe it's, it'll be something. But so we're having a little transition here at Coach Focused. But
have you done your first Facebook Live? Have you done?
I've done one Facebook Live, and I actually thought it was a little strange because there wasn't a second person. That's what I really liked about Blab is there was that second person. So I'm not as comfortable on Facebook Live, but maybe if I figure out all that technical stuff that you mentioned, I'll watch that. So that might be a good option.
Or let me know when you go live. I'll be the other person. I'll be there commenting for you.
There we go. Perfect. Great. Well, thank you so much once again, and we'll see you all next week.
Thank you, Brighton.